Hello and welcome to Chick Chat. I'm your host Jessica Fowler and I'm here with Sandy Jameson and Sonia Thomas. And the three of us have come together to chat about topics that we believe would lead to happier lives. So thank you for joining us. And today's topic is a dear one to me, and that is kindness. Shameless plug, I have a charity called the Human Kindness Project. So it goes without saying that kindness is something that I truly believe in. And I do believe, being kind is a mindset. It's not just a random act of kindness here and there. It's really a way to live. And I really got into kindness when I came back to Canada from living overseas, and I felt in so many places I had lived in the world, people were so kind. There was this sense of community and everybody felt like they were in it together. And I thought, in North America, we get so wrapped up and naturally, we always have these stresses in our lives and there's never enough time for anything. And I was very adamant to try to bring that kindness to our culture.
Yeah. What does kindness mean to you?
Kindness means a million different things. I think that's a really good question. When I talk about kindness, I'm normally talking about kindness to others. But there's kindness to ourselves, to the environment.
For sure.
There's so many different ways we can define it. But Daniel Goleman is one of my academic mentors, if you will, and he talks about how the benefits of our psyche and being kind are just so immense to our overall health, to our well-being, to our attitude, to everything. If you do a kind act, not only do you feel good about it, and that kind of impacts your next interaction with someone, but the person you did a kind act for feels good, and it can really change a person's life. Day, week.
I did a podcast on this recently, and I quoted a paragraph from Goldie Hawn's book, 10 Mindful Minutes. She has an entire chapter on kindness.
I love her.
Oh, isn't she amazing?
No.
Let's get her on the show. Goldie Hawn?
Goldie, you're welcome.
I'm following her on Instagram maybe one day.
Okay.
Putting it out there, yeah.
But that was the thing, if you do 5 random acts of kindness, what it draws to your life is just so exponential, because you feel good, and what that does is that carries on through everyone, but then you boost your own life, because that's something positive that you're putting out and then therefore attracting back. So it's, what is that expression? Kindness begets kindness. Is that an expression?
It is now.
Yeah. And they say it does affects your serotonin level. So
you
do feel good, right?
Yeah.
It boosts your overall spirit, if you will.
It's having a sense of empathy, right, for others, and getting a sense of what they're going through, empathizing with them, developing a connection in a way. It's a form of developing connection too, because you get to see from somebody else's perspective and feel what they're going through, and then make a change and help shift wherever they are, wherever they're at.
What do you mean by that? If you can carry that a little further.
Oh, sure. So acts of kindness are also ways of being empathetic towards what somebody else is going through. You can almost feel what it's like to be in their shoes, and you feel that you have the opportunity, the empowerment to make a shift, to help them out with whatever they're
I think that's so
through.
true, and I think that's a big driver for me in kindness is everybody has a story. You have no idea what the person next to you on the bus or the subway is going through, and I think always thinking that and always knowing that everybody has a story. Someone could be going through the worst time of their life, and just that one moment of kindness can just make such a difference.
And it can be a smile or a hello or, opening the door for someone. Or I remember being at the grocery store and making a comment to the lady there who basically had a negative response to how her day was going. And I thought, well, you get to talk to lovely people all day long. And she said, not everyone asks questions like you. Some people are so preoccupied with their technology, they don't even acknowledge the person who's doing that service for them. And that's a person too. And if we remember, we're all people, we all deserve to be happy, and a simple smile can make such a huge impact. So it's so easy to give.
Yeah, and as you're giving to others, also giving to yourself, right? So being kind to yourself as well.
Feels good on your heart.
Yeah, treating yourself like you would like to, like you would treat a friend. Easier said than done for me and for many people for sure. But I think it's a good thing to be mindful of. As you're extending kindness to others, how are you giving yourself that compassion, that break, that time out, whatever it is that you need too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know, Sandy, I find we talk a lot on the phone, Sandy and I, because we don't live so close together, but you are so kind in how you communicate. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but one thing that Sandy always says is, I trust it. And there's this level of kindness that she always gives every situation. You know, if I can't make something, or if I'm going to be late, or I'm stressed out, or I'm venting, and you're just so kind to listen, and just, you know, I think that it goes a long way for me and probably everyone else you interact with.
It's something I've been mindful of for years, I think. And part of that, I think, is doing personal development, so reading. And I think that's really helped just to shape my character. And so I guess that's, I'm grateful that that's a takeaway for you, because I definitely make it a mission to be kind.
Yeah.
And express that to my children, which is something that's important, I think, to reflect to others around you, and they learn from that, right? My children definitely, I mean, not always. But I hope if I'm consistent.
Things are being planted.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I think in my charity, we work with the youth because we feel like that can have the biggest impact, right? Like I said earlier, kindness isn't necessarily an act here or there, but it's really a mindset. And I think we work with the Canadian Positive Psychology Board, and they're all about putting kind of stats and statistics and surveys behind kindness, because it's a very vague term. I know a lot of people are like, oh, kindness, like that's not really a cause, but it is the root to all causes and charities.
Well, it's the opposite of bullying, right? So if there's an anti-bullying campaign, let's switch it to the kindness project or the peace project or something, and put energy into what we want instead of what we don't want, right?
Yeah.
We shift that focus and focus on kindness. We can let go of bullying altogether.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing being kind. Like, just people always say that it's not a selfless thing, and it's not. And I'm the first to admit that, because when I do kind acts, I feel good, and I know I'm going to. And that's sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I just have to go outside and find a kind act to do, because I know it's gonna cheer me up.
Shift your
But it's amazing. Like the other day, I was wearing an outfit that I wasn't really sure of. I was at a music festival, but I know when I left, I wasn't feeling so confident. It was a kind of a wild choice. And
I want to know what you're wearing now.
Maybe I'll wear it at a next session.
Fuchsia?
It was wild. It was like a bright pink leather coat, but I thought it was awesome. But when I left the house, I thought, okay, maybe this was a bold choice. And this woman in line when we were going on the boat ride was like, "That's an awesome outfit." And just that one comment, like, just made me stand a little taller all day. And it just, I thought about it all day, and it's amazing, just that like small compliment.
I love to give compliments to people when I see something I love. I don't think everyone does it. I think a lot of people internalize it, and I think it's so powerful when you actually can acknowledge that for somebody else, because you're giving that confidence, that confidence boost. Right?
And I think it's a huge thing when you talk
so
about
easy to give.
So easy. And kindness doesn't have to be about money and time. Like, there's such simple things like that, like compliments. And
it's being thoughtful, right? Just like seeing somebody, seeing them where they're at, and just acknowledging them. I mean, that can be kind. Just being like, you know what, like you have like a rough day, so like, you know, you're a little bit, maybe somebody's just like sitting alone, and like they look like a little down. Just acknowledging them, just saying, hey, how's it going? Just being present for
Maybe
somebody.
they're an introvert.
Maybe they're an introvert.
stay tuned to our next session on introvert versus extrovert. But it's true. You talked about connectivity. Like, I always say that we're all in this together, and I think that's why, you know, I believe in karma, and I believe that when we put that energy out there, and kindness energy, it's going to come back.
Absolutely.
And
it's not about forcing it, right? Like, we all have bad days. Sometimes we don't feel like putting on a smile, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just a shift in perspective. Like, what can I do? What can I do here for myself and for somebody else? Yeah.
I agree. I think kindness is a powerful thing, and it's just the ripples of effects are infinite in my belief.
You have something with your cause about deliberate acts of kindness, which I remember at first thinking, I don't need everyone to know if I've paid for somebody's coffee. But I don't know if you've done research behind it, but I think that doing that deliberate act and then sharing that deliberate act inspires others.
Yeah.
So I think that
we, for our charity, we talk about deliberate versus random, because we like the idea of putting some thought and intention behind it. So thinking about even what you can do will start to grow that list, right? And I say, oh, do a kind act. People are like, oh, what should I do, or what can I do? And the more you do them, the more that list grows. But the more deliberate it is, the more kind of impact and reflection you can have on it. So I agree.
Amazing. Congratulations on your all you do for kindness and on the project so far, and I know it's ongoing, and how amazing to have that impact right here in Toronto.
Yeah, it's been really great, and I think we're all kind inside. We should all let it shine.
You gonna start singing?
Yeah. Well, I think that does it for kindness.
Yeah.
We won't sing to you, even though you guys probably are better singers than I am.
I love singing next time. Okay.
So I'm going to challenge everyone to do a deliberate act of kindness in the next week and feel good about it. Leave it in the comments below. Tell us about it. And thank you again for joining us.